I'm proud of most things. Just whether the proudness remains is whether they happen or they don't happen. The biggest thing naturally is the Rolling Stones. But one never sits around to say, yeah, I'm proud of that, because there's always tomorrow.
What do you hope will happen tomorrow?
I've got no idea, but I haven't got enough time to think about today. I just got time to get on with tomorrow. I don't enjoy money in every end. I mean, I don't enjoy really having to say account for money. Therefore, I couldn't write articles like Paul Getty in Playboy on what to do with the Tuttons and what to do with the other Thrums. I just have personal things that I need money for, whether it's business or what. Just for whatever I happen to be doing. I just use it for that.
What do you intend to do other than pop music?
I really don't know. I've sort of suddenly got re-interested in pop music again after having gone through sort of a fairly bored stage. And I've got vague ideas about what I might do, but it's what everybody in sort of on a particular rung of the ladder wants to do. I suppose the obvious thing is to say, yeah, well, one day I would like to go into films, but I would like to go into films when the time is right. I was also, without having any knowledge of it now, intend to get sort of more interested in politics, because I think that's another sort of...
How do you intend to get to know what you can about the film business?
By listening.
Would you give that advice to a person who wanted to get to know about the pop business?
I think about any business. I think that once you cease to become a pupil, then you've ceased.
Everything's leaving, fires are now burning, and life has no reason. I am alone, waiting for nothing. If my heart freezes, I won't feel the breaking. Why must I stay here? I'm sitting here, watching life moving away into yesterday.
It seems strange to say, because if I say the violence of it, which is one part, which if you ask most young people, they say they don't like the violence, they don't like the war, they don't like that.
Yeah,
they themselves are violent, which doesn't seem to make sense.
No, it seems that you're encouraging it in a way, aren't
But it's I suppose, I don't think you have to be violent to overcome it. But some people do, and when they're violent against the police, it's just their way, the only way they have of showing it. Because they're not organised.
How would you organise them?
I wouldn't want to organise them. I don't feel that I'm a leader of them, whoever we're talking about. If you're a realist, and if you see the world as you think it is, as it really is, you try and see it as it really is, you can be just as angry and write from anger. Okay. But I don't think, oh, I'm screwed up, I must write a song about that. It doesn't happen like that. It's just a lack of people liking what you do. It's not a secret of anything. It's just doing the best you can and putting everything you've got into it and hoping people will like it. There's no real secret to that. Either people do like it or they don't. As long as people know about it, they have to know that you exist, which is a very important part of, if you're somebody new who's starting out in pop music, everyone has to know you exist, and once they know you exist and they hear what you have to offer, either they like you or they don't. And if they don't like you, which happened to us in America, when people knew about us, but they didn't like us. They didn't just buy records until Satisfaction, which was a really big record. Well, because I just feel part of the thing that started off, I suppose. And I feel part of the people that this isn't the first generation that's questioned the moral values of the last generation. But I think it's one of the first generations which has not had to worry about the material things. Because if you're hungry, you haven't really got much time to worry about morals. I mean, when I say morals, I mean like fighting wars and whether this is right or this is right for this society to do that. If you're hungry, and if your stomach's full of food, you can start worrying about them. And this is what's happened. As people will worry and worry more, and they'll have less and less work to do. As the years go on, they won't have hardly any work to do because there will be machines to do it for them, which has already happened. And so that they'll have to work like 4 hours a day, and the rest of the time they've got to do something else.
Why do you think something else?
Well, that something else isn't going to be what people think. It isn't going to be just jumping around and swimming and just reading books and going to movies, because you get very bored with those things very quickly.
What is it going to be?
Well, we don't know, that's the problem. But I hope it's going to be something good. I don't know.
Everything's happened to me, and I haven't happened to anything. So things have happened to me, I think I better start happening to something. And one thing, yes, and one thing after another has happened to me. I mean, it's quite incredible, actually. It's a most extraordinary thing. I don't know how it's happened. I think it's going to stop any minute. Am I allowed to talk? I suppose I'll go back to the Beatles. I mean, really, isn't it? We were lucky enough that they were quite cool and hip, and there weren't an awful lot of cool, hip people around, not a majority, and that they became idols, and like any idol, they were copied. And so that's why London perhaps is now cool and hip.
To me, I'm not a Puritan by any means, or a moralist, but to me, the idea, for instance, of short skirts and things like that, we seem to be selling our morals in return for a mess of cultural pottage, in a way. Short skirts, for instance, are a sexual thing in order to show as much of a girl's legs as possible. Topless dresses in America in order to show as much of the other half as possible. To me, we seem to have lost a certain amount of moral fibre, I suppose you call it, but that's only in comparison with other English people. I know, for instance, a very English attitude is one, if an Italian touches a girl up in a street in Rome, it's because they're all very sexy, hot-blooded, passionate Latin peoples. If an Englishman does it, he's a dirty rogue and should be fined £5 immediately and taken into court. And the English have two sets of standards, which they set for themselves and others, you know. If a Frenchman comes up and asks a girl if she wants to get laid,
That's romantic. If an Englishman does it, she says, "What do you think I have, a prostitute?"
How do you do it?
Well, I certainly never ask.
I see a red door and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black. I see the girls walk out, just in their summer clothes. I have to turn my head until my eyes go. I see a line of cars and they're all painted black, with flowers and my love both never to come back. I see people turn their heads, or quickly they look away. I like a newborn baby, it does happens every day. I see a red door and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black. Yeah, maybe I will fade away. I'm not at the best of facts. It's not easy facing them with no home I will black. If I look hard enough into the setting sun, my love will live with me before the morning comes. I see a red door and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black. Yeah, I see the girl walk out, just in there must have my clothes. I have to turn my head before the lights go. Before it goes, any day, turn it black, turn it black, stop it, turn it black, stop it, turn it black.
Psychic masturbation.
What makes you think, what are the qualities in your work that have made you and it so successful?
I don't know really. Do I make a lot of money? Well, I don't know what a lot of money is. I mean, compared to John Lennon, no, I make nothing, but compared to the guy down in the insurance company, I suppose I make a lot of money.
How do you think this success of yours so quickly has affected you as a person?
Not at all. Absolutely not at all, except that I come to work with a chauffeured car as opposed to coming to work in a bus.
Oh, what I do find is very sexy is the new Fortney stamp with the footballers kicking the legs up.
Here come the nights, looking so good. He makes me feel like no one else could. He knows what I want, he's got what I need. He's always there if I need some speed. Here come the nights, it's understood. Here come the nights, it feels so good. I'll be just like you if I only could. You know you should we can. You don't need money to open your eyes. Understood. Come on now. It makes me feel good. Just like I only
The mini situation. Mini cars and mini skirts. I can't say too much about the skirts because I don't know much about that, but there's more room in a mini car than there is in a Cadillac, which seems impossible. I don't know if that holds true with the skirts or not, but at least they wear them with total abandon, you know, which is nice. I mean, they're not always kind of pulling them down. They say, that's how short it is, and I can make it shorter. And I say, good, that's a freedom. Because I don't think that girls really vary that much in their physical appearance. So it's a good, healthy breakaway from everything that was, you know, stolid and stoic and staid. So I enjoy it.
Tonight, let's all make love in London, as if it were the year 2001, the years of thrilling God Anno Domini. Be kind also to the poor soul that cries in a crack of the pavement because he has no body. Our prayers to the ghosts and the demons, the lackloves of UN and frightened congressmen who make sadistic noise on the radio, statue destroyers and tank captains, unhappy murderers in Mekong and Congo, that a new kind of man has come to his bliss. To end the Cold War, he has borne against his own kind flesh since the days of the snake.